Hello, everyone, and welcome back to week 2 of the Little Witch Party Panel Felt Panel Sew Along. So my name is Jennifer Long, and I am so happy you are here. Come on in, and this week we are making the Bat Garland. Okay, welcome everyone. Week 2, we're making the Bat Garland of the Felt Panel Sew Along. So you have your felt panel, you've opened it up. Today I'm just going to walk you through or talk you through a few of the steps and where to find all the resources. So it is important to me that we give you lots of extra support. There is lots of detailed instructions already written on the panel, so I know that you'll be great. But if you're like me and you like visual, I did want to share something really important. If you go on the website, it's sewastory.com, and you look under the tab that's fabric collections. So there's a fabric collection, and I do this for every single fabric collection. This is how I want to support our shops and our customers. And I know everybody's working at different schedules and different times. So I like to create a free download for you that is the exact instructions that are on this felt panel. Sometimes there's a little bit more extra tips and tricks if there is some alternate techniques options, like if there's a turned option. There's always an easy version on the panel. And sometimes on these, I like to give a little bit of like a more difficult option. But it's a free download. All you need to do is put your email address in, and you'll get this download. Now it's fully illustrated, so it's those instructions, but it's fully illustrated. So you can see that it tells you exactly what to do every step of the way. I'm going to talk you through some of these each week, but you can just grab this and follow along right there. This is exactly what I'm going to be going through. So if you go under the tab that's Fabric Collections, you go under Little Witch and just scroll down so it says download the free felt panel sew along, and there you go. If you don't want to put your email in, which I hope that you do, because we just give a 1-week email list, and there's always all this great fun things that happen at Sew a Story. But if you don't want to, you can just hop onto our blog, and I will give the instructions for that week with the illustrations right on the blog too. So either way, it's fine. And then these videos are just a little check-in to see how you're doing. So tell me in the comments how you're doing. You can also share if you're a shop and you have these felt panels still, please share that you have them. If you have other tips and tricks you want to share with others, this is our community. So please feel welcome just to share along here. So highly recommend getting this. If you want to know the dates and you want to get the actual felt panel sew along emails. So these ones will just share this video and all of the other links. Then you'll need to sign up for the sew along, which is also, you can find it on that same tab. And so this week is the Bat Garland. All right, so if you downloaded those instructions and you go to page 2, okay, here. Then it the third page, I guess. So it has 1 to 5. Steps 1 to 5 are the same techniques that I've used for all of my felt dolls. So if you've made felt dolls with me before, these will be the same techniques we use. So I'm just going to kind of synopses or kind of go over them a little bit in case you're new to the world of felt panels with Sew a Story. And then we'll just tell you a couple of ways that you can attach them to make your garland. So you have your felt panel, and you're going to find the Bat Garland. So this is the Bat Garland right here. You're going to cut out each shape so you can see that there is like a gray outer seam allowance, just one on the garland so we don't get too huge. You can cut out right on that seam allowance, and you'll just pull the felt panel, or like the image off. This is where, if you wanted to add embellishments, so let's say you wanted to use sparkles or glue or buttons, or you wanted to do, I've curated a couple of Aurifil floss colors here, so I can share those with you as well. But if you wanted to do little embellishments like this, you see I've done French knots here and here. If you wanted to do those and take your bat garland and just maybe accent a few of the options on there or make your own, this is the time to do it after you've cut. Once you've have those embellishments on, you can choose to stabilize or not stabilize. Adding the stabilizer just gives a little bit of extra strength. So you can see here that I have a piece of stabilizer behind. And what I'm using is this Heat and Bond Craft Extra Firm stabilizer. It is so thin. Like you can just see how thin it is. It's even like, it's as thin as a piece of paper. This is actually a fusible one. So you could use your aliso iron on the stabilizer side and just give it a little press on here. Just make sure you always do a test spot, maybe on the instructions or somewhere on the corner of the felt panel, just to see that you have your heat setting correct. And I don't usually ever press it directly on the felt panel because it is still an acrylic felt, but it is a very high quality. So I haven't had problems if I'm just using it on the back side with the stabilizer, and just enough so that it is kind of fused. If you don't want to fuse it, then you can just take a pin and pin it in the center. And you would do this. I actually like to do it like this first, and then especially if I'm doing any kind of embellishments, then I would do my embellishments, just because I'm not going to squash them down my French knots and everything else. Then I will take this shape and decide what color I'm using on the back. On the instructions, I was using black, but what I have here right now in my sewing studio is this gray. So I would just take a piece of gray and roughly cut it bigger than my shape like this. So I would just take it like this and just do a nice big rough cut around it just so it matches. And then again, I would pin it all so that you've got your shape. And this is how I do all my felt dolls. It's really, really just easy. And I've got a little piece of stabilizer in there. Now I would take it over to my sewing machine, and you can either sew right along on the bat outline, or you can sew in the center of the seam allowance. So like this is a pretty wide seam allowance. You just sew right in the center. I'm going to show you like 1/8 of an inch how I've sewn here right in the seam allowance of the first gray seam allowance there. Good. Perfect. Just like that. Excellent. So once you've done that, then all you need to do is cut it. So then you would just take your scissors and trim along the edge of that seam allowance where you want it to be finished. And then you have basically a bat felt doll. Now, if you want to turn this bat felt doll into a garland, then what you can do is punch a little hole through it, either with a sharp tool, or you can make a little buttonhole. You can obviously use a grommet as well. I was able to get this string, it's getting tangled, from Amazon. It was just like little felt balls that were already strung together. So you can just get like a little felt ball garland, and it was perfect colors because it's orange, kind of a magenta color. And, it really got tangled here. I think I must have had some kids in here playing when I was set up. Oh, well, okay, we'll just show you this part here. Now on this particular one, like the balls actually slide and move on them. I would assume that they all do that. So you can either thread them yourself, or I would take maybe 2. And then the bat that I've done here, I would either string it through the garland if I'm stringing it myself, or I would hang it through with the grommets, or you can even just like stitch it in there however you want. And there you have it. So you have your little garland. If you wanted it to go right through, then before you did that sewing, this is why I'm giving you all my tips and tricks here. Lots of creativity happening. You would just put it through before you did your sewing step. So before that, I think it's step 3, you would put that garland where you'd want it, and then you could sew it and the string would be hidden inside. So there's a couple of options there for you depending on the skill and age level, but felt panels are really about being personal and being creative. And just adding, you can see kind of how much fun I was having here with the stitches. You can kind of see that I was doing lots of different types of stitches. It's a great way for kids to learn. And then when you cover it up afterwards, so after I finish the stitches, when you cover it up afterwards and you've sewn it, you can see that you can't see any of the stitches on the back. So I even added lots of texture here and a huge French knots. And this time I was doing a blanket stitch. So just for something a little bit different and fun. So definitely have fun and be creative. And I can't wait to see what you create with your bat garland. And I will see you again here next week. Next week, we are going to be talking through the 3D pumpkins. So you won't want to miss that one. Okay. See you soon. Bye for now.